Say this ain't never happened to you.
Russell Wilson is not a simp.
Sometimes simp behavior is gentleman behavior.
Nigga, what?
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. But can you do me a favor? Hit the notifications button right now. All right, guys, you've seen the previews. Let's get to it.
213,122 heterosexual couples tied the knot in 2019, which is down 50% since its peak in 1972 and the lowest since 1888. People ain't getting married now.
Well, what we have to understand about life is there's really no need for anyone to get married now. The only reason why most people want to get married is because of the fairy tale. They still want to feel like they have accomplished something. They still feel like that's a gratification. That's something that everyone wants to do that still feels hard to do. Everyone is stuck in that mode. Most people that are stuck on being married are typically the people that do not have any goals in their life. They're typical people that just want to work a 9-to-5. A woman wants to get married for status. And the reason why that's so important to a woman is because she knows the odds of other women getting married is very slim. Regardless of what we say out of our mouths, there's still way more women than men on the planet. Even if every man gets married, there would still be at least millions upon millions of women who would still not be able to have a man, and women know this. But when it comes to marriage used to be a bonding of two families. Now it's just nothing more than the government controlling your life.
I think that
Only men call other men simps.
They be hating.
Yeah, like it's the men. Y'all do that. Women.
I think that women, of course, women gonna say because they benefit from his simp behavior.
Russell Wilson is not a simp.
Sometimes simp behavior is gentleman behavior that men with too much pride don't agree with, but they be hating on the simps.
Guys are not hating on simps. That's what women need to understand. When a man looks at a simp, he's looking at a man that's relinquishing all his power as a man. He's no longer a man because he's putting a woman's emotions above logic. And the reason why he's doing that is because he can't get any women. See, deep down in our hearts, we know that the simp men are the ones who can't perform in bed. We know the simp men are the ones that's going to nag you the most because what's happening with him, he's really just trying to get full-time sex because he never gets it all the time. You have a lot of good-looking guys who do not have any game or confidence. Confidence doesn't just come with money and you have the looks. You can have the money and the looks and still not have confidence. So we look at a simp as a desperate man. We don't necessarily look at a simp like he's a different type of guy. We're just like, hey, dude, why are you doing so much? Just pay for it instead of begging for it. He's begging for it. That's why guys look down on it. Guys understand that when it comes to getting a woman, you are going to have to work for it. But it's when you're doing more than working for it and you're just being a part-time slave.
Which is, I'll tell you why male friends annoy me. Because I understand what you just said. You made a really good point. She said, it doesn't matter what they want, matters what I want. So she's saying, look, I can have male friends even though I know they want me, but I won't allow them to have me so I can exploit them. Which is smart. I understand that, right? Yeah. For me, male friends are about respect. If I park one of my 17 supercars outside a club, right? Let's say the Lambo's outside, and dudes are trying to break in. Even though I know the locks, the alarm, the immobilizer are solid, can't steal a Lambo. Am I gonna allow them to try? No, I'm not jealous. I'm territorial. If you want me to truly love you, you are my girl. And no one's gonna be allowed to even try, even though I know you won't let them.
He is absolutely right. You cannot have male friends, period. A man doesn't want a girl who has friends that he know deep down in his heart that if his girl was to just get mad at him and one day be loose, the male friend's gonna be there to come in and comfort her. See, when it comes to women, women don't mind watching two guys battle over her because it does nothing but give her an ego and make her feel more of a princess than what she's feeling already. So Typically, when a woman does have a male friend, the guy she's in a relationship with is beta, and the male friend is beta as well. Both of these guys are two weak men that she just keep around for comfort because she can't be by herself. None of the men see this, because at the end of the day, the girl who does have male friends is going to typically end up alone. She would not end up with a husband. Back in the day, women could do this, but nowadays it's going to be very hard for a woman to have male friends and get married. It will be extremely, extremely rare. It's not going to be a normal, but it will happen and you will see it.
You know what? How about this? How about we use the same female logic? Because no one calls women out on their BS. How about you're the toxic one? Because, and I'm going to tell you why. You're the toxic one because you knew he was religious. You knew he lived a certain type of lifestyle. He gave you the commitment, yet you still wanted to act like you were single. So I would argue, right? Because, hold on, let me finish my point. Stop interrupting. If you're in a relationship with a guy, he's going to expect certain things. No guy wants to commit. That's the truth. My thing is, you got with a religious guy. You knew he was religious. You knew he had certain morals and values. But you tried to change him. Go to the club with me. I want to dress this way. I want to behave this way. So you wanted to get a relationship and security from this guy while simultaneously being able to act like you're single. I would argue that's actually toxic.
Woo! Oh, man. He is right. He is right. That's toxic. And that's what a lot of girls are doing now. They are getting in relationships with men, but still acting like they're single. But then if the man tries to say that he don't like what they're doing, then it's, you're trying to control me. You're trying to control my life. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do that. That's got to be the biggest hiccups that a lot of these women are going through. I tell guys all the time, in your 20s, just go ahead and run through these girls. Women pay for it in their 30s. They don't see it in their 20s because in their 20s, they have control. I don't care what you guys learn. Women are going to have control in the 20s. When it comes to 30s, 40s, and 50s, that's when the men have control because that's when men start to mature more, get on their purpose, make more money, have more wisdom, while women are coming down off their high horse feeling insecure because they're hitting the wall and they're not getting the same amount of attention. So when you look at these little debates online and when you sit down and talk to these girls, these are pretty girls that can still maintain kind of sorta the life that they talk about in these interviews and online, because in the 20s they're gonna control everything. That's typically when most guys get their heart broken. Most women get their heart broken in their 30s and 40s when they're getting cheated on. Guys don't want to marry them. You know, the roles do flip and turn around, and Myron is absolutely right. These girls are getting in relationships still trying to play city girl in the relationship, and then when guys cut them off and go to another woman, they're looking at the guy like, he's bad, he tried to control me. You just don't get it. They've lied to you. When you get in your 30s, just make all those girls side chicks. That's what I tell a lot of dudes. 30 and plus, just make them side chicks because they messed up in their 20s by thinking they could just be too liberated.
It's that women leave men 80% of the time, and if they're college educated, it's 90. So if you get divorced, it's 80% of the time like the woman leaves. And one of the number one predictors of a divorce is actually if the woman out earns the man.
Oh, I love that. I actually love that. I can't lie.
You love that? You don't think that's kind of
No, I'm like, girl, you go get that. You go get a man, and like, yeah, you go get that. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Like, why is there like a lack of empathy for men?
It's not a lack of empathy. It's
but there is, because like they're breaking up a family, a lifelong commitment, and a home, and your reaction is you go get the bag, sis, or like, I'm so happy for you, when that's actually a really that's a sad situation. Like, your wife is leaving you.
See, the women don't get it. This is why guys don't care. But you gotta understand this. It's always the weaker women that's gonna be doing that, so you can't fall for it. See, when these type of girls, oh, I'm liberated, I could do it, girl, go get it. Girl, go get it. Yeah, girl, go get it. Those are the ones that go home and cry. Those are the ones that life is going to suck. And for a woman, the closer you get to 30, still talking that, yes, woman empowerment, the more life's gonna suck. When I see women in their 30s doing women empowerment, they normally have another woman as their spouse that is still pushing it. All of these young girls, I really, really feel sorry for you, because you don't know what you've signed yourself up for. You think you have it figured out, but all you're going to do out of confusion is just keep yourself busy. You're going to start working more hours. You're going to try to get more certificates to up your value. But what you're not realizing is it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how many certificates you get. If you cannot be a good girlfriend in a relationship with a good guy, it's not going to work. And when you get too old as a woman and you do not have a man, I'm letting you know right now, you're going to look ugly. What do I mean? A sexy 40-year-old woman who got money, who got the clothes, look good, nice body, hourglass figure, that nice hair, everything is perfect. But guess what? Being the fact that she's a perfect woman at the age of 40 with no kids and no man, she's uglier than a standard looking 25-year-old girl with none of that, with a basic outfit on, and she ain't even got to have a good job. That type of woman is going to look better than a 40-year-old sexy woman, because one thing that men do at that age, they're saying to themselves, this girl's messed up in the head. I don't want to be with her. That's what a lot of these independent women don't get. In order for you to achieve the success that you want, you have to take on the traits of a man. You have to work long hours. You have to be more aggressive. You have to be more dedicated. You got to work just like these successful men you want to be like. But what do you lose? You lose your entire personality as a woman, because you become the man that you want to marry, but that type of guy doesn't even want you. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.